Thanks for turning up. I think we should get about 37 tonight if they all turn up.
Subs is due this week, innit?
Yes.
God damn.
Love this then. Right, couple of things from last week. Steve mentioned this. Mick, can you tell Nigel the B&Q have these in
Jade.
£2 each for 15 or any 3 for 8? These were the ones Nigel was after. Saw these in ours, Owen.
Mick,
Yes.
that isn't bird.
Don't like them, you have them, don't. And this dog wants to go out now that I'm on here again.
Steve, can you mute yourself?
I have done.
Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
What I was saying, Mick, was you've got to be a bit careful when you buy stuff from garden centres in pre-packaged packets, because that picture there and the name Verve, the two don't match up. Verve, nothing like that.
I think Verve is the B&Q brand, Nigel, isn't he?
No. Verve's the name of a gladiolus. I know. Sorry, yes, you might be right.
Verve is a B&Q brand.
Yeah, it's all right. I can just see the name underneath the bottom there. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. I didn't notice the name under the bottom there. Underneath where it says 15 gladioli, just see Princess Margaret Rose, can't you?
Yeah.
That's it.
There.
Yeah, my mistake. Because there is a gladiolus called Verve, and it doesn't look like that. But that one is Princess Margaret Rose.
I bought a bag of them from Dobbies. I think it's 18 combs for $6.99.
Yeah.
When I took them home, I cleaned them up. There was 4 rotted. So I took the 4 back to the garden centre, and the bloke gave me another big bag.
Fair enough.
Good job.
Yeah. Don't try, you don't get, do you?
Were any of them rotted, Nige?
No, it's a good bag, that was.
That's why all the prices have gone up, Nigel. People like you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Scrounging.
Right then, seeds was sent out because I've had a busy week. The seeds from week before, if you remember, which is dishing out. These went out yesterday morning, so you won't get them till Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you, Mick.
There's some more I got hold of. Anybody wants any of them? No, they. Right, I put this one on a few weeks ago about this dog hit by a virus on the beaches. This is now in the Midlands, and it's around our area. And there's when we go up the park now, there's quite a few people with the dogs that we don't see anymore. Meaning whether I'm taking them just up the back garden until this clears up, or I don't know how long it lasts, but it is in our area. This is off Colin. Took nice advice. These are brilliant. Cheers.
Very good.
Good man.
I got some as well. They're brilliant.
And this is the fair that of the photos I put on the Wix of Fower. How the hell does he get up there? Where does he go? Look at him. Gordon Bennett.
More importantly, how's he get off?
Oh.
He's just chilling out, Mick. Look at him lying down.
He's in the sun, he's alright. Nobody's going to get at him. That's when I took the hound out yesterday. Bloody windy, mine. But we're alright now. Right, be careful, you lot. Stay safe. Boris Johnson has announced that due to a new Indian COVID variant, Vindaflu, people will now be offered the Punjab. Please take this new variant seriously. My neighbour caught it and has been in a coma for a week. And he's only just buried his nan. Obviously nan Brent. Who had a dodgy ticker. There's only 5 were allowed to attend. It led to a right argy-bargy. I'm going to say who sent that in, just in case I get taken off. Mark sent me this one during the week. Climate Change UK plans now flowering a month earlier. Environment correspondence, nothing. Which we all know, everything is coming early. Right, my raised bed, that's the last photo I put on last week. That's the situation it was. I've started now getting all the timbers out. Obviously that's upside down, just get them all out first. So the hound helping me out. Right, that's just placed on, so that's the height I am. And then all the right way. So all on the outside and the top is clear timber. I've now put me there's 2 struts that side and 2 this side, obviously. If you remember, originally I just had the 2 brackets on the bottom. I've done the same with these 2 as well. So them 2, and this will keep it nice and well, it ain't gonna bloody budge or move anywhere anyway. So I've got my trainers, clean trainers for outside when I'm working in there. Just take them off and step into them. Because this was not muddy but not very clean, if that makes sense. So bottom of the garden, that's what it looks like. And now I've got to start filling all these cracks, which I have done there. It's a nice little chap. That's a good deterrent, isn't it? If somebody comes down to Yompit and they see that.
Yeah.
Right, me onion pips. I'd off Dave up Chesterfield. He told me he meant to mention it last week, which is get all the old skins off, which I've done there, which obviously it looked like that. So I'll get me nail in and just take the one off and then the others to end up like him. Just to get these.
Good idea on them, Mick. If you're removing the old skins, it's just get a pin or a needle and just tick the top just to pull away and then pull it away.
Yeah, good thinking. Thank you for that, Nick. So there they are, all done. I've got to straighten these chaps up tomorrow. I've got a chance. Right, Tuesday was my first tour. This was down at Wick Gardening Club in Perthshire. This was right out in the bloody sticks. But I cancelled 2 talks. This is the first one they've had for me, obviously. It's a proper village hall. I should say that was it there originally, and they put this on, this extension, the bar. Perfect. Whether they've got a local pub, I'm not sure. It's pretty dark. That was the show secretary, the speaker secretary, sorry. So the main door's up this corner. I'm just getting a photo of that lot as well. Luckily they got a projector built in, so I use their projector, which is less hassle, as you can see there. So all I had to do was plug my laptop into the same connection as that, which is perfect. In fact, there's quite a few places to do it now. I've got another 5 talks this year that I've got built-in projectors, which is excellent for me. But that was a good turnout. That's which was doing a spiel in the mall before my talk, and I've got all my gumphy here ready to flog after. And she'd seen my YouTube videos and found out, well, she realised I was into me fungi, and she bought this one new book that's come out, and is halfway through it. Just bought that in to show me. So I took a photo. I started to look into that when I get time.
Wow.
It'd look nice up your garden. It'd be great, although you'd take room up and grow something if you're there. It'd be nice on the front end, on the drive, somebody really nick it. Yes, our first peak of the night, ladies and gents.
The Amazon kid.
Am I? I wasn't. Oh, my mate phoned up. He said, I'm clearing one of my fields. Do you want some muck? So, okay. Come round. How much you got? He says a lorry load. So up he turns, and this is what he bought. Oh, there's my latest project. I'm going along the back now with vertical slabs. So that will be one big raised bed there between the vertical slabs and the picket fence, where I'm going to put my my pallet collars there. There's just the size, and then I will have enough room to walk by the picket fence to get at the pallet collars from the other side. Now it's coming on, it's slow progress, but we're nearly there.
Good man.
Looks good, Colin.
Well, it's well, what can I say? It'll be easier for me to work around anyway. So, there's a lot of slabbed areas. I must admit, I'm losing a lot of ground, but as I said, the raised beds there's more than enough for me to grow what we need. Before I was growing for the street and the pub and everything, but now I'm just growing for the two of us, so there's more than enough space there.
Yeah, it looks well, mate. Looks well, that.
Thanks. Anyway, he popped up and he tipped this load up, which I was very pleased for. I didn't have to pay him. Well, we've come to an arrangement. He's bought me this, and I've got to give him a couple of hanging baskets in the summer, which is good.
That looks well rotted as well.
Well, there's a sting in the tail. I'll show you on one of the next pictures, actually.
It said everything.
Eh?
Yeah.
I think there's another picture, mate. No. Go back to the previous one, mate. Right. Oh, no.
That's it.
No, skip through that. You had it before, the one before that.
That one.
Right, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, just under the drain pipes, can you go in close, Mick? There, by your arrow, there's a whole lot of bindweed. Can you see where it's scragged the soil, scragged the field?
Yeah.
There, that's bloody bindweed.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. I've gone through this. I'm being meticulous with it because I don't like bindweed. And would you believe, out of that load there, and I haven't finished going through it yet, I've almost got a 30-litre bucket of bindweed out of it.
Wow.
So, but it'll be all right as long as I can get 95% of it out of it. If there's any left in, I've got some stuff that'll knock it back. But it's a shame because it's well rotted. It's where he's put it on the field, left it to rot, and his digger had gone into the field itself, which has got bindweed in. So
beggars can't be choosers, Col.
well, no, I've had a quiet word with him, so it won't happen again.
Lovely.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's it. That's all.
Thank you, Colin.
Cheers.
Cheers, Colin.
Cheers, Col.
Cheers.
Couple of folders like that. That's all we need.
I'll send you my address and you can drop me some off.
This is another good one. Weird, wondering, strange group. Babies left asleep outside. Strengthen the immune system. Moscow, 1958. Now, Lee can remember her mother mentioning this from her mother about taking kids out in the cold in the pram outside in the back, leaving them where you can see them just for a couple of hours. So
Quite sure I believe that one, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe it to know.
Right, gaps inside between there. Now fill the gaps on the outside. I've done these. When I did the raised beds on the allotment with the scaffolding boards, I did exactly the same, except I didn't wallop them. I covered in plastic, black and white horticultural plastic, and then taped them with black tape from Wilco. Doing exactly the same here, meaning I'm sealing them. So I put the strip all the way around it. You can see I'm working my way around there. That's the lot done. And I've also walloped this lot with the first coating to seal it of my rubber sealant. Right, what day was this? I can't remember. Could have been Wednesday. Me and Dave met halfway at Tamworth. His days at Chesterfield, halfway on the motorway. There's a Moto Tamworth servicing station, M42. He got some stuff for us. 8:30 in the morning, I had my haircut. I'd lie.
Well, did it cancel?
You cheeky bugger. We had a cup of tea and I had a nice bap, sausage bap. They warmed that up for me in a bit of brown sauce. Beautiful. And then Dave got excited and he showed me this thing.
What is it?
He went on to it. But the mist spray on it is superb.
Wow.
You charge it, you just bung your plug in at the back and it charges it. So it's handheld and you just push, there's no pumping or sort of. And these have come from hydroponic shops.
They par.
And a sprayer. But superb they are.
I've got a similar one to that, Mick, only it's probably AS5.
Oh, yes, I know. He's got everything, that man. Everything.
But I've googled them and they're all about 30 quid.
Is that a lot?
Right. Not for what it is. Not for the mist you get on it.
Right.
I think it depends on the size of the area you want to do, really, Mick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's what what Dave passed on to me when we was in the service station. He's a good lad. So when I got home, luckily it was dry and there's no wind, so I could bung all these on the top. Sort a bit of room out in the greenhouse. And luckily I managed to get that lot in there. And at the back of there. I thought I'd have to put them outside, but I got away with it. Meaning I can still get my door on and just heat that end. I'll say another 2 weeks, especially when this lot start putting a bit of meat on. Then I shall have to open up. So far, so good. Dave also told me about this on YouTube. If you can remember the life history of the onion, it's come out in 1943, and it's only on for 10 minutes, but it's fascinating. The technology they got then. I mean, it was bloody 1943. It's the same bloke, that posh bloke who's in every old film you see on Path Losers in black and white. They all have the same voice then. If you all remember that, have a nose, it's interesting.
Put it on, mate.
Right, Dave sent me some photos and all, in a good lad. These are sweet peas in flower last year. And these are obviously sweet peas now in his polytunnel. These were sown late October. So if anybody fancies doing it for next year, I take it that was a cold tunnel. So there's 3 photos of them. And Muddy Boots recommending these, so Dave's bought them and had a go. And there's the onions growing in them. These are onions for the allotment, obviously for eating. And then he's got pot leeks, different strains because of the different coloured labels. We've got a nice bit of meat on them. And these are the blanch leeks. Nice bit of thickness on them as well. Obviously that's with the collar off and with the collars on, just to keep that blanch nice and white. There's you got 3 onions from Pips.
Got up.
Somebody just come on, can you mute yourself please? And the onions from Seed. So it's doing well there. And Dave also sent me this. I'm sorry out of a paper or something. Killer flatworms. I know we've had these for a while, but they've always been up north, Scotland way. I think originally they come from New Zealand or Australia. Well, they do yompa worms. So there's always some to tell you that. So much else. So cheers for them, Dave.
Cheers for them, Dave. They're good.
Well
I
done.
think Jeffrey sent me this one. No matter how slow you go, the important thing is to leave your mark.
And into just.
Hope you don't get knackered halfway through and fall a kid. Taking the hound for a walk. And talking to all the dog owners. The majority of the dogs eat grass, which our core do now, so I've got to get a dollop of turf and grow that, so there's going to be grass. But I get it every day now while we're walking. Right, I sent for 2 bags of compost last week. I wanted to see what it looked like, because the ingredients, when I said it, that reminded me of stuff from years ago. So that's opening up, and that's ruffling up. I remember years ago, when I first started the trading sheds, the garden club, you could have sedge peat and moss peat. Sedge peat was the black one, and the moss peat was big solid bales. And when you rub it out, just something similar to this. But not a bad brew actually. With some of the stuff I've used. This is supposedly what the professionals use in the garden centres. Right, second coat has gone on. First one had had 24 hours to dry. Then I put a nice solid thick coat over the tape, as you see it working way around there. So I'll cover the tape again as well.
How deep's the bed, Mick?
Probably just under 3 feet.
Blood and sand, that's a good one.
Oh.
Good
Right,
luck
when
doing it.
my next talk after me, well, Tuesday was his first talk, then I had one Wednesday night as well. This was Thurnby Garden Club. This is in Leicester. That's a school there, luckily. That's a school, and that's a school car park. Otherwise, we'd been knackered for parking, because that was a right poking up road. Obviously, I've been driving for an hour or so. First thing, I need a piddle. And I had to go and get the multi-gender toilet. God, Bennett.
Oh, Mick.
What's the matter with it?
I don't know whether to sit on it or fiddle through the seat. Anyway, a good turnout for that one in there. I think that's the second talk they had. We both enjoyed that. In the morning, next game, postman coming in. What we got here? I sent away for this chap last week. Blueberry, pink sapphire. This was in because I go through, if I get catalogues, especially fruit catalogues, I go through them anyway. So if there's any new, there's always, because I cross-pollinate, there's always new stuff coming out. And this is supposed to be the first pink blueberry. But it was late season grower as well, which made my mind up. He'll be ready for our show. So I cut all the tyres off him, so he sprung open. But that one there, if you haven't seen it, that was the tie, the green tie that was round there. I don't think it's a bit blurred here. But that's stapled through the bloody leaf. Must be the cheap labour they get who bag them up. I've had that crap before.
Minimum wage.
But that was from Pomona Fruits. So if you fancy him, or there's a few more new ones in there as well. Right, where's me, what's it? There I am. There's my wheel.
Wheel of Death.
Indian Lizzie. I don't know whether Paul's on. He's been busy just lately.
Nick.
Oh,
Catherine Williams.
Thank you. Sorry, Nick.
Good job, me bugger.
You're a star. Another one out off me nature group. Some corkers on there, so I keep nicking them. Past his 10 seconds there. Right, second speaker tonight, Scott.
Oh yeah,
Good man, thank you, sir. All yours.
yeah. Just sowing a few seeds. That's all. A few hot chilies. So I find the jiffy pellets they just work for me. So I know some people use other ways, but so that's I just buy them from the hydroponic shop about 10p for 10p each or something like that. I can't remember.
Mm.
So yeah.
Are these just one size, Scott?
Yeah. But I've got a few holders. So I was I hydrate them with water, and I noticed when I got them out the water butt, all these little gremlins are in there. So I think they're mosquito larvae or something like that. So I just sieve it out with a sieve. You'll see little herberts, and then chuck them down the sink. Didn't want them in anything. So so rehydrate the plugs. Got the little holders there, and then I don't know what the next one is.
That's a question, Scott.
Yes, mate.
What do you think the advantage? I've used those Jiffy plugs years ago. Is there any advantage?
I don't know. They just suit me. I don't know. I've tried doing the seed trays. I mean, they all germinate, but I just find that they're all contained. I can keep them in those. I have one of those little water spray things on the end of a bottle, and I can just get it in there, and I can keep an eye on them in the propagator.
Cool.
And it works, so I just keep doing it. And then they're easier to pot on. In a few weeks they'll go into a bigger pot, and I just lift it out. I snip the little casing off.
But that's biodegradable, isn't it? That will break down anyway.
It should do. But I usually just at least cut one side of it, so if there is any restriction, the roots can get out. But so these are the seeds. Do not touch them with your hands. So I use tweezers to get them out the packet and then put them in the thing, because they're hot chilies. Then you will still get some residue on your fingers, and if you rub your eye or something, then you're in for it. So
I didn't realise that with the seeds.
Seeds are the hottest bit, mate.
So,
what variety of them?
they're I sowed 2 or 3 different hot ones. These are Fatali, I think, and I've got another one called Machu Picchu, which I've never tried before, but that's a habanero as well. And another one called Jamaican Jerk, which is another sort of habanero. But the Fatali's pretty hot. So, there you go. And then I just section off the holders so I can know which ones are which sort of thing. So yeah.
Isn't that Italian for fatal?
It might be, yeah. It's pretty fatal if you put one in your mouth. Oh, that's for sure. But they are a lovely flavour. I did grow them once, but I haven't grown them for a few years. But I can cope a bit more with the heat now. You sort of build up a resistance to it.
Yeah.
And we can, me and the wife can cope with it a little bit more. So I've grown a slightly hotter one.
Trying to get rid of her?
Hey?
Are you trying to get rid of her?
No. Yeah, so that's I mix Biosis, which is like a microbial tea, with the rainwater, and that's how I hydrate the plugs, and then just feed them that for the first few days until that runs out, and then I just use rainwater after that, and then you can feed them sort of every couple of weeks with that stuff. It's really good. And I've found, they say it helps germination, and I've found that it does. Yeah. I get a good success rate when I use that.
What temperatures do you germinate them at, Scott?
I've got the propagator at 27 degrees.
Wow.
For germination. But then now I've turned it down. They've all germinated now. So I've got it. I've been taking it down a degree a day to about 24. I think you got these propagators in your nitrous thing on your page. They're the greatest thing, aren't they?
Yeah, really good.
Someone mentioned to me earlier that they put sand in the bottom of theirs to even the heat out a little bit. I didn't know because I didn't notice that.
I use vermiculite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put capillary matting in mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did do that once upon a time when I had open bottoms, and I sometimes do that when I pot them on. I put them into the square pots, and then I put capillary matting on the bottom and just water that. But yeah, because I noticed that one of those is getting drier quicker than the other one.
If you put vermiculite on the bottom and just water it in with a like a rose can, and then put the plug straight on the vermiculite, you'll get a lot even more temperature control.
Oh, okay.
Nick, putting in, sorry, Scott. Nick,
that's all right.
Do you have any problem getting the heat through? Because I know vermiculite can be an insulator.
No problem at all. No.
That's Timmy Grow tent, and then I'll start. This is the earliest I've started before, but the hot ones they just take a little bit longer to get going. So all the other chilies, jalapenos, which are all anums. These are habaneros. These are capsicum chinenses. They take a bit longer, and they're quite slow growing. So I started these a bit earlier this year, and then I usually start my others around Valentine's Day. So,
the other comment I would make, Scott, is put the probe in the soil, because once you've got the temperature in the soil, you will save a little bit on electric once the soil's up to temperature, rather than looking at air temperature.
Yeah. With that, Nick, I did that, and Greenhouse Sensations contacted me and said the probe was designed to be an air probe.
Oh, they never said that. I've always stuck mine in the soil, never had any problem.
So what I've done with mine now, I've got a sucker, and the probe sticks at the side, just dangling in midair. Because I actually put mine down in the soil.
Yeah, when I put on, I usually pop it in the soil.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
But, with those plugs, there's this. It's a bit tight in there for space. So I tend to just leave it there, just like initially.
That's funny, sir. Nigel, if you look at some of their videos from years ago, they used to show you to stick the probe into the soil.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new videos, they wind a bit of wire around the end of the probe and just let it stick out.
I think the probe's been redesigned, Nick, but because in the side of the panels, the small owls, that was originally to thread the probe through it. The new probe will go through it.
I mean, mine's 6, 7, 8 years old now.
Yeah, I think mine are as well. I've got a double one as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is just immigrate. I've got a T5 light on it, and just 27 degrees for germination, and then they've all germinated. Now I think there's a picture of I took like a week after. They just stepped after 6 or 7 days. Some of them are just coming through, but they're all through now. So. Yeah, here we go. That was it.
Lovely.
No worries.
Cheers, Scott, mate.
Cheers, Scott.
Just a quickie, Scott.
Yes, mate.
Does this T5 give much heat off? Because I've got 10 T5s in mine, and with the lights on, the thermometer actually don't kick in. It's warm enough for the bottom heating.
Yeah, it's quite warm, but not as I used to have a CFL. Yeah. Big bulb in there, and that was so hot in there. It was just ridiculous. So, but the T5 is better. But it's mine's a 4 foot by 2 foot sort of thing. So it gives a fair bit of warmth, but it's not too bad. I have a fan going in. Once they've all germinated, I have a fan going in there as well.
Thanks, Scott.
No worries. Thank you.
Another nice little chap there.
It's the wife.
Nature, love it. Did him. This was the most ever dogs I've ever seen up Cradley Eye. This was early morning, about 8:30.
Wow.
Look at her little face. Just had a good run around. Steve, send me this lot. Glady bulbs, 10 for $5.99. Got 5 Trader Orn and 5 Princess Margaret Rose. Obviously, when he sent me the photo, I couldn't see no names on. I thought that was mixed bagged or something, so I put not named. But obviously they were. And while I got hold of it, Steve, this was been in the front of the car for moons. I think I took it down to put down the shed in case you came down. Of Singular Beauty, the corblets. But if you want them, I'll bung them in the post for you. Right, we started Colligate Garden Club and our first talk last Thursday, obviously. There it is. It's always the AGM, the first talk, get that out the road, and then which don't take long, 10 minutes, but anyway, if that. So we always have a speaker, which is me, because if we had to pay for the speaker, he's ripped us off while I'm talking, while I'm going off. Because I get my plot up, so I've done me, I get a talk from plot to back garden, which we'll come on to a bit. And speakers I've got this year, Dave Thornton, he's from Select Seeds, Chesterfield Way. We've had him for a few talks. He's a good veg grower. He does onions. Well, there's loads of things, but he's talking about his seeds, and he's bringing seeds down with him, so that's March. And Nigel's coming down again, been a few years since we've had him, so he's giving us a talk on Gladiola. Nice. Always good turnout for him. John Bennington, we ain't had him for a couple of years, giving us a talk on onions. Speakers are getting harder to get now. There's quite a few that don't come out at night or when the moon's out and all this crap. Bring 'em by, which we usually have. All these are the first Thursdays in the month, except for June. It was the first week in June. That's the Queen's Jubilee, so there'll be everything going on. So I put that a week later. David Bardell, Falklands History. There's two ex-forces, obviously. I've put it together and they do different talks. So I've jobbed them to there. Simon Gulliver, The Makings of the Midland Landscape. Darren Rudge is a presenter on a radio station entitled The Laughing Gardener. I've done a few Q&As with him. And he gave us a talk on, this was last year, his first part one we had, brass tarts and tea bags. And we got part 2 this year, and he keeps adding on. I think he's got 6 parts now, so he got him for the next 5 here. But he's good. He's got a sense of humour, or which helps. And Saturday 3rd of September, that's our show. And Thursday the 6th of October, Justin Harrison, Autumn Splendour. Then the first Thursday in November, that's our presentation night, obviously, from the show. And it is hard to get speakers now, obviously gardening wise, because most of them that are local I've had, and you got to go further afield. I mean, we're getting there. Right, so this was everybody coming in, sorting out evening Dave, and screen up that end. Luckily we can get them all in to see the screen. And this was a photo marked for us. Panorama, look at that, Boston. Obviously the bar. There's me just waffling about the AGM, getting that sorted. But we had a good turnout. I think there was 45, 46 there, which is good. I just stand that road, I got my mic on, and it comes out the speakers. And I got me spotter to put the spot on a photo if I'm going to point anything out. So there it was, that's when I started off. So it's a photo from last year when I was utilising the space before I had my little raised beds, my little plasians. These come on the talk, and at the interval there's quite a few interested. Asked me how much they cost and all this crap. I couldn't remember, so I said I'll find out when I've got time and I'll send you the link, because they're recycled plastic, they are nice and solid, and they're going to last a bloody move. Halfway through, we stop for the grub, which is all over that side. And it gives a chance for people to go to the bog or refresh, get some more drinks in. So part 2 was on the way again. And these are the beds I was on about. Because I put these this road, because they was down there, because when the sun comes out in the afternoon, all these lot have got the sun. So I've sent for 3 more beds to go lengthways, the same as him down there. That's where I'll do me vegs next year. But these have shot up in price from when I had mine, which was only last year. And this stuff you can click on now and you can talk to them. I'm there, so not talk to them, but talking by writing, if that makes sense. So I said to this chap, I've had some of these recently and they weren't this expensive, and he was just going on basically fuel, then forgetting them, and then they're going to send them out again. They're no choice, they've got to put the price up. So plus it's free delivery anyway, so I suppose the price is in with that anyway. But everybody I sent to, I think they all get up on it. But that's how they get them. Obviously these are flat packs, so you got 4 corners and then just fit in nice and solid, and these are secure. Then you put your base on the top of that and your feet on there just to lift you off the ground once you've got it wherever you want it. But as you can see, them nice and solid. That is solid as a stropper. And he bought, because I asked him a while back, he come to the gardening club for our talk. I said I left me my trowel on the plot when I legged it, and he says I'll sort it out one. And he gave me this kit, but I didn't want to ruin it. I only wanted the trowel, so I managed to unseal that and just nick the trowel out. So that'll go back to the raffle prize next month. Cheers, Andy, Austin. Right, back to this lot. This lot is now ready to be filled. Hound. So I have to put the tops on. So all the raised beds at the back of the garden, I've got loads of goodies on. Most of them is wood chip. Then I've got all my others on that side, this side, and on the raised bed behind me as well. There's all sorts. With something like this, the depth of this, you know, go 1/3 or up to 1/2 of wood chip. Obviously going to be small wood chip, but wood chip is a natural product, meaning it's going to break down. That's why I now use it as an ingredient in my composting. If there's any big lumps, I'll take them out. But small lumps.
But question for you, Mick.
Yes.
So if I was to raise my, as you mentioned in my polytunnel, I mean it's two, so it's about what would it be? Probably 1 foot. I expect the raised bed. So if I was to raise them up another foot, could I put wood chip on the top and then cover up the soil?
No, because you ain't got the depth. Because yours only be like that, wouldn't it? Too deep.
Yeah, that's what it is at the moment. So if I went up too deep again, could I put wood chip in?
Oh, too deep again, yeah. I thought you meant one. Yes, yep.
No, mine's if you look at that picture of yours, mine's too deep. Although it doesn't look like it, it is because it's beneath the soil.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way the land lies and such. So if I was to go another 2 high, could I put a layer of
certainly
chip on top and then compost on that?
Mick, when I was them carrot tanks I did last week, I think it was, I filled the bottom of them with about a good few inches of wood chip. I went on the internet to look at this, and there's quite a few people saying that the wood chip will sap some of the nitrogen out of the soil, but I've still done mine.
Yeah.
But when I upped
I was just
my
thinking,
rate
if you buy big grain wood chip, I could shred it.
I've had no problem with mine.
It's the same as the shavings from the poultry. They recommend let it rot down first, otherwise it will sap the nitrogen out.
I
I've actually seen somebody. I can't remember where it was now. It was on YouTube. And they were constructing a fairly deep raised bed, and I don't know what the system is called, but they were actually putting whole logs down.
Yeah, that's from the States.
Eh?
That's
from America.
Hygge culture.
Yeah.
Whole logs in the raised beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole logs, planks, and everything, and then filling it with. What was it, Lizzie?
Hygge culture.
How you spelling that?
HUG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I suppose you could argue it's a bit like a compost heap. If you've got the heat in there, it's gonna break down a lot quicker.
That's right.
Yeah, and the rotting wood will get the mycorrhizal on it quick as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they was
But you've also got the drainage.
Quite
Yeah.
a good depth, sort of 18 inches. And I thought, blimey, never seen that done before.
Really lucky you're gonna run down anyway.
Oh, there you go. Well done, Catherine.
All right, thanks, Kat.
Any road up. So it's over a third. So I've gone over the level of the bushes. So I've got
Just with wood chip.
third of wood chip, yeah. I think I took about 3 lumps out and threw them on there for the hound. There's one, look. Still bloody come back. So they're just leveling away. Next one, rabbit muck. Straw plus the bonus is a rabbit muck. Then I got my spent ops. Good dolloper that's going on.
Nick, how much will that drop down in the bed over the next 6 months?
Well, we had a good downpour last night, luckily, and that has just dropped it down already. Meaning that is the only, because you're not walking on it, you're not compacting the soil. The only compaction you're going to get is rain
or the breakdown.
Drop. But every year, how long have I had mine raised beds down the plot? 26 years, more. Every year I have to top dress, and there's still room after I've top dressed. So I top dress with muck or my compost, homemade compost. Once I've planted something else, I'll then top dress again with rabbit muck, with a straw. That stops the evaporation, the moisture evaporation. The only one disadvantage of raised beds, they dry out quicker. So it's had a decent top dressing anyway. But over the growing season, that will break down.
Yeah.
So the same as the stuff underneath, and that will drop again. Exactly the same again with the rain during the year. So it does compact itself, but it's only the rain that's doing it. But every bed, even after you've top dressed, you've still got a gap on the top again. I mean, you can, obviously, if you've got enough stuff, material, or the money to do it, then yeah, top dress right to the top. But this will compact down. Good drop of muck, gotta get some muck in there. And then I covered it. Then we had an omelette for tea. Swilled them out under the tap, got rid of all the crap out the eggshells, so they're nice and clean. Dry them, put them in the microwave, defrost 10 minutes, come out nice and brittle. Paul's give me a quick one. Am you on, Paul, or not? Didn't see you come on earlier on. But I think he's
I'm on, Mick. I'm here.
Good man. I'll let you.
There were some chili seeds I did me germinating through some hot water. I took the kitchen roll, just faded away, but you can see the ones germinated. And I've lifted the top up today on the propagator, and there's about 6 popped up already.
Oh,
week's time. That's a week. That is.
Week.
A week in. There was 6 days in that water, and yesterday I checked it, so it's just been under a week now. Germinated. Some are germinated already. Got about 6 out of 280 seeds.
Where have you got your tray?
That one will be propagator.
Oh, it is in the propagator. Yeah.
That's just in the plastic Chinese tub.
Oh.
Like I did last year with my cucumbers. It works every time.
Yeah.
And they're in diamond by the fire by a propagator at the moment, and they're coming up. So I want to take a few out and put into pots and put them in my light box. Then
Oh,
I was pleased with that. I can't remember which one it was, to be honest. It's having the Satan's Kiss or the Jamaican Red. And Longhorns come up. I got 2 of them come up. I'll update you more when I've got more come up.
oh.
Some more pictures.
Cheers, Paul, man.
Cheers, boss.
Here's the red onion. It's busy.
That's an angry bird.
I'll take him home.
It's an angry bird. It's like an angry bird.
Lynn sent me a few photos.
I agree, Paul. It does, doesn't it?
Alright, question for Zoom. Is it worth planting these brassicas out? Purple sprouting cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Grew these from seed late last spring. Never got to plant out. And there's a close-up of them. Now I've told her just to plant them out. Anybody else got any thoughts on that? Do they come to anything or not?
Sorry, Mick, I missed. I disappeared from the PC for 30 seconds. Could you repeat that?
Lynn started these off spring last year, but I never had the chance to put them out. That's the situation they're in now.
From spring last year?
Yeah. Can she plant them out now, or will it not do any good?
I think they'll go to seed.
Yeah.
I think they'll bow. You could try them by planting them up to the first leaf, but I'll think, like Nick says, I think they'll bow.
They'll go to seed, yeah.
Yeah, they're
What
biannual. They'll go to seed. If they've been out in the cold weather, they'll go to seed this year.
What are they, Mick?
The cabbages.
Oh, cabbages.
Kohlrabi,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And you can just see as the leaves now
They'll be
starting to
pot
turn.
downs by now, won't they?
You can just see the leaves starting to turn purple. That's cold weather's done that.
It's not worth the chance, actually, is it? Because it's ideal time to re-sow anyway, so you may as well sow and get new plants.
Be re-sowed now. They'll grow like weeds anyway.
Yeah.
And snowdrops, are you on, Lynn, or not?
She just left
Can
a
you hear
message
me?
me.
Yes, Lynn.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Can you actually see me or not? Because I look froze on my screen.
We can see it.
Focus.
Okay, those are just snowdrops in the garden. I've got quite a lot of different varieties. As you can see from the leaves, they're slightly different varieties.
Oh.
That's, I've got the name here. It's called Leucojum vernum, AGM. It's a rare and striking unusual bell-like Tiffany lantern-shaped flower. That was from Ashwood Nursery. I treated myself. It wasn't the dearest. That one was $5.99. The dearest was actually £50 for a bulb, but I didn't bother with that one.
That's beautiful, though.
It is pretty. I'm just hoping it'll multiply.
You say £50?
No, that one was $5.99. I didn't buy the £50 one.
I'd want 100 for that.
Yeah, that's $5.99 from Ashwood.
Should have took a photo of that 50 quid one.
To be honest, it didn't look very different to these, you know, the normal ones.
Yeah.
And a few more. As I said, they're all different varieties. I've got quite a few in the garden now.
Lovely.
It's a thick leaf one.
That's me, hellebore. I've got about 11 different plants in the garden, all different varieties. But they are very late. Although you were saying earlier that plants seem to be early this year, my hellebore are all late because I've got photographs on Facebook and they've come up as memories, and I am late. But there's a few that's come up. This one is called hellebore tutu, Tutu.
Lovely.
It is pretty.
It is, yeah.
And that one I can't remember what it's called.
Originally, when we started taking the dog for all, this is obviously last year, down the brook where we had been for a while, there's a few of these growing in the bank by the brook. I was wondering what they were.
Okay.
It's a wonder nobody's borrowed them.
That's another one. This is there's so many different varieties. So They're one of my favourite flowers. Can you actually see me on the screen moving? Because I said my screen is blocked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll show you this one. That was a present from a friend. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can.
That one is called, that one as well from Ashwood. That's Helleborus Gold Collection, and it's Brunel. But that one, the leaves are purple, and the flowers are just single petaled. Yeah, single petal, but they are like a dark maroon. So my friend treated me to another one.
Nice.
Oh, that's it. They're there. Look.
Oh, that's it.
Oh. Good then.
Thank you.
Lovely. Cheers, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you.
Nice little input. Right, this was yesterday down the shed, obviously training sheds. 12 till 2, we've changed the times. Mark Jackson made us a visit. Jacko, Azuma. He come down for his winnings because he won the worm wheel last week. And that's what he won. Bag of clover. Good lad. While we was there, Batham's come and dropped their spent tops off. And luckily this chap, he's had a plot about 6-7 months down the bottom of the site, and he was just nicking the remains of the spent tops from last week, and he turned up again. But his system here, the chap himself has got a plot down Stourbridge, school drive allotments, and obviously he works for Batham's. And when they do the last brew on a Friday afternoon or whenever, the gaffer's told him, if you get rid of them ops ready for Monday morning, you can have the van all weekend. And that's what he does. And he supplies his own allotments and us. I'll give him a key because originally he comes at 6:30 on a Saturday morning. He says, I bloody opening for 6:30. So I'll give him a key because I don't trust the chap. But the system he's got here, as you can see, that's secure. Which on wheels there. And this is like a mini skip. And that goes back and then just tips up.
The hopper.
As you can see there. And it's brilliant. No scraping. Well, all he's got to do is get the broom and scrape the rings out and take the crap off there. But it's a brilliant system. Before it could, the system there, it needed 2 of them to do it. Because that bar here, which I've got hanging up there, that goes in there, it fits in there, and that moves it away somewhere. Anyway, but he does it on his Todd, and it's brilliant. He's unloaded within 2 minutes. We've got a lull, so we're bagging up spent mushroom compost and worm casts. They'll get me 1 ton bags, which I get them in, and rock dust. That's another one, and then we bag them up there, as you can see. Ready for the onslaught when the spring gets here.
Yeah, question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about molehill soil? That's a really good fine soil. I never hear anybody about picking that up and collecting it. But where I'm growing, some land I've got, there's a lot of mole activity at the moment, and I collect that, and it's just like
it's the best topsoil you can get.
Yeah.
A lot of chrysanthemum growers use it.
Chrysanthemum go mad for it, don't they?
Mind you, I have killed a couple of moles in the last week, but anyway.
Nah, you can't get it by the ton. Nobody flogs it by the ton.
No, but it's good stuff.
It's excellent stuff. There was a top onion grower.
And it's full of nutrients. It's full of nutrients as well because, it's got loads of nitrogen in it.
If it's a molehill, then the moles nick the worms. That's what he's after.
Yeah.
So if there's worms in there, it's good soil.
Yeah.
Best topsoil you get. This chap he's going to work. He started going 10 minutes early every morning. And he'd take a carrier bag. And he'd stop and pick a molehill up. And he did that every day. It took him a year and a half to fill a raised bed. So it's pure molehill. He bunged his onions in. Best onions he'd ever had.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to collect mine.
Best topsoil you can get.
I think my council would mind if I nicked it from the park.
I'm sure. So Suzanne, I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
There'll be some
We've got
snowflake.
loads of moles over the park, and it's literally at the end of the road.
There'll be
Email
some
'em.
snowflake that'd dock you in.
The wood, yeah. There's
No,
Paul
pick,
Wood down
it's
the
no
front
different
with
than
his
picking up
duck
dog poo, is it?
Sit down discreetly, and while I'm sitting down, just put it in.
Go for it.
Take your wheelbarrow with you, Suzanne.
Hand
Now
up, mate.
that'd be obvious.
Doing it all.
Right, this message last week. I Mick, I watch your Zoom sessions on your YouTube channel every week as I can't make the actual meetings. I was wondering if you or any of your other people who join your Zoom meetings have any knowledge of using soil blockers instead of pots, as I'm using them this year to start my seed from allotment. I can send some photo pictures if you want. So I said, yes please. I was looking forward to coming to the first meeting of your gardening club tonight, but due to COVID I'm greenhouse bound for several days. So sent me some photos.
Hand up, Mick. Dennis.
That was a fruster. So the blocks is done. You just make out the seeds what I'm in there. But if anybody does use these or use the soil blockers, because this is the first year they're doing it.
Somebody's got their hand up for a question, Mick. Dennis Barry.
I can't see it, an hand. Just jump in. Anybody, anytime.
He's muted.
Yeah, we just I collect mole hills as well. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
Me,
man.
on the soil blockers, I've used them, but you've got to get the moisture content of the soil spot on.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the soil blockers, you can get them in different sizes. The first one is a small one. Then you move them up. And
He's muting. Can anybody see who it is?
It's Mark Jackson in the pub. And they come in different sizes, and the first one's obviously small. It's about probably ½ inch square. Then the next one will produce a soil block, but there'll be an ½ inch depression, so you can actually put the first soil block inside the other one, and then move up in stages. But it's getting the moisture content right. Once you've cracked it, you're doing, but it's a bugger to get the moisture right.
But if anybody does do it and you got any photos that we can bung on to show her, then yeah, perfect. Them look a bit drier. That last photo, they look a bit moist. Let's come back. They look a bit wettish. That's a large one for bigger seeds. This is what I'm planning to use for my squash seeds. Also put on, because I was on about cakes last week, and after the cake from last Zoom session, these were made for me by an amazing lady in Dudley.
Dudley.
Wow. Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Okay.
There's the other one. Lovely, thank you, Joanne.
Is it the same lady that did that cake last week? She did a birthday cake.
No, this is a new one.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive, actually. There's a lot of work gone into that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Hey, that must be so time consuming to construct.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Carrots and peas and,
Yeah,
and the handwriting on the fondant.
Passes the time, do it.
Yeah.
Lovely, Joanne. Thank you for that. Hopefully somebody will get some photos together about your soil blocks and whatever. Another photo I've nicked. Just a nice little one to bung in. Jeffrey. He sent me a message. I've struck a deal with a Glady breeder in Kiev, Ukraine. He's sending me 5 cormorants of every bloom he has. 200 packets. Gord Bennett. I'll grow them on. And he sent me that link as well. Nice photo there. Hope that's not a meal.
Depends if Russia strikes.
But going through these, there's some corgers in there. I'm just putting these 2 on.
Wow.
Yes, mate.
Jeffrey sent me that photo as well. Nice. Bench with a light holding an umbrella. Perfect. Jeffrey, thank you for that input.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Boy Mom Gladys, somebody also put this on the British Gladhouse Society, so I've nicked it. Dutch combs from J. Parker's arrived 27th of Jan, now peeled, checked and in storage. Amsterdam, Trader Orn, Purple Flora, Violetta, Cream Perfection, Video, Esther Benita. Summer Neil combs work out to 25 pence each, including P&P. Small order charge of VAT.
It's not bad, is it? It's cheap.
I've
enough.
used them before, J. Parks. Obviously, everything comes from abroad. It's just a little warehouse. I've Googled them. They sent me a crap great.
Nigel Cow, what do you reckon to those varieties? And they're just normal garden varieties?
There's 2 or 3 on there that are pretty good show varieties. Esther Benita particularly. That's it's an older variety, but it's a good one. It's like a sort of pale to mid-range orange. Massive flowers on it, about 5 or 6 inches each individual floret, the bottom ones anyway. Plenty of buds on it. Out of those, the ones that are top show varieties are Cream Perfection, Esther Benita, Trader Horn can be good. Amsterdam is a big pure white, but it can be a bit wayward. And by that I mean it doesn't always sort of throw the florets facing forwards. You have to play about with them a bit to get them facing in the right direction. Phenomenal is not one I'm familiar with. It's a newer one this time, but from the picture it looks quite attractive. But how it actually grows, I don't know. And Video, the guy who actually put this slide on, a guy called Chris Thompson, he lives in Cramlington in Northumberland. And I judged it actually. It was the first gladiolus show I ever judged up at Harrogate. After I'd passed my exam, me and another fellow judged it. And Chris put a spike of Video into the novice section because he'd only just started growing them then. And we gave it champion spike for the whole show.
Yeah.
We absolutely got slated. Why are you giving a novice the best spike and all this business? But you know, it was the best of what was there, and what was there was good stuff. It was a really nice spike. The video's quite attractive. It's like a sort of palish lavender colour. So you know, pretty Violetta, the other one that's up there, Violetta and Purple Flora. Purple Flora is just a solid purple. It's like a self variety. There's no different colours in it or anything. And
that's a bit of a bargain, Nigel, then, yeah?
These are brilliant. And if you go on the Parker's wholesale site, I mean, if you're a garden club secretary or out like that, they'll sell them by the thousand, you know, for about, we work out about 10pence each, something like that. And they've got, you know, pretty much all those varieties on them. And by no means are they just the few varieties that they've got as well. I had a Facebook friend. He lives in India, and he grows a bit of everything, and takes them down the local market to supplement his income. And he was after Purple Flora, and he'd ordered some from somewhere in Holland, and they turned up and they weren't what they were supposed to be, and he was a bit despondent about it. He asked me if I could get him any. So actually, what I did was I actually bought 50 Purple Flora from Parker's. Grew them for 12 months and then gathered the cornlets off them at the end of the year and sent him the cornlets to grow on out in India, so that, you know, for what it cost to send 500 cornlets, you know, I could have probably only sent him about 10 corns for the same weight, you know.
Yeah, cool.
Not to stock him up for a year or two, but yeah, I wouldn't have any qualms whatsoever about using Parkers. They've been very good.
Good. Thank you, Nigel.
Always.
Right. New day. Let's do some more filling up. So the last thing I put on there was manure. You've got to have manure in. Loads of different brews here. More rabbit muck went on.
Loads of manure.
Wood chip. Topsoil. and the spent mushroom compost. This was peat, spent peat out of my grow bags from last year, what my peppers grew in. That was what my mate down South Wales collected for me out of the forest of the wood. It's just a pine cone droppings, so there's a good dollop of that went on. More spent mushroom compost, topsoil, and I got 2 bags of my leaf mould out. Then was rubbed out by hand, that went on. And topsoil on the top of there as well, and just about make that out. That was them 2 new bags of that new growing medium, they went on. And then I'd finished, run out of stuff, so it was all covered up again. And that was another photo this morning, first thing, but overnight. Luckily the heavens opened, and that's weighted that for me, and that has dropped that down slightly. So I say by the time I fill this up, I've probably got about another 4 or 5 inches to fill.
What are you going to fill it up with, Mick?
I should get some more brews. The 2 I shall end up top dressing is my own compost, and probably a leaf mould, worm casts. Yeah. Then be one of the last worm casts will be the last ones will go on as well. Plus me coffee grounds and the rock dust. But I'll probably get some more topsoil from.
And you'll never dig that again, yeah?
When I put my top dressings on the top, i.e. the worm casts, spent coffee grounds, and the rock dust and that, I should just hand fork mix that top bit there.
Yeah.
But everything underneath is just left.
Yeah.
What are you going to treat the outside of the bed with me?
I've got some proper wood stainer, the light green.
Yeah.
Because they was done originally, but obviously it's faded by now. You might just about make it out there, but I think they only wallop and 1 coat just to put on show. But luckily,
that's good. Yeah, it's good.
But obviously, all this will be rubbed down.
Imagine the amount of work. If I've seen people do it. It's a bit like when I did my beds in the polytunnel. All I used was what's it called? Decking, and that will probably rot out in 5-10 years time or whatever. But the amount of work that I did to get those done, and the amount of work that you did to do that. Imagine doing like 10 or 15 of those. It's a lot of work.
So Mick, that was a photo this morning.
Mick, if you leave it just a little bit below the surface, it's sheltered, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, so it will be below the surface
get affected by the wind.
Yeah.
And at the same time, when you add more compost in future years, you're gonna be overflowing.
No, they always drop down every year.
Yeah, I know that, but you're constantly adding, aren't you? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I found that with mine, what was doing after a while, they were starting to overflow.
Nah, I don't get put them that high.
My beds in my polytunnel. Now I filled them 3 years ago with various bits and pieces, and this year I put in a ton of horse manure over the top in November, and then they're 2 inches below. Yeah, so the worms feed.
The worms, bacteria, fungi go through everything. Just keep it moist and warm. Don't forget, once I've filled this with when I've top dressed with my garden compost, once I've planted stuff out, I'm then going to top dress again with a straw and rabbit muck.
What you got planned for that bed, Mick?
Flowers for the gaffer, keep the peace. But I can get my gladdies in around the outside as well. And with a bit of luck, if I likes it when I've finished it, on another one down here.
You got a plan, Mick, haven't you?
Hey.
I can't see that happening. You never know. I thought if I let her have what I want in here, there's a Alstrom area, there's 3 of them going in. I've got bulbs growing in the greenhouse, tulips, them spurting already, them going round. But it'll just be a good bit of colour for her.
And how are you going to stop dog?
Control it.
Okay, mate. Good luck with that one.
Giant African land snail. Get one of them on your cabbages. Gordon Bennett.
Wow.
Listening people.
Thanks, Mick. That's great.
Cheers, that's good. Really good, Mick.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers, Mick.
Thank you, Mick.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Do you want me to chuck some pictures up for next week, Mick?
Yes, please.
Yeah. No, that's really good. I just ordered some. So just to let you know how much prices have gone up for soil. I ordered some. I think it's Djax. It's a company that sells agricultural stuff. So I just ordered some M3 tonight, 16 bags. So I need about a ton for the onions. So that's gone up 30 quid on 20 bags in a matter of 4 months.
Yeah.
Has anybody grown any red sprouts before?
Any what, Paul?
Red sprouts.
It's funny you say that because I chucked some seed in the bin today. Red sprouts.
I'm thinking about growing some.
No.
I might have a go for a bit of laugh.
Something different, eh?
It is.
Might be a different taste.
Hopefully. I don't like them anymore. Kids like them.
Paul, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
When did you start your chili seeds?
I was late this year.
I haven't started mine.
last compost last weekend. That's been about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't started mine. Do you know, I had a thought in bed last night. It sounds a bit strange. I should be thinking about other things. I was thinking, but I actually thought to myself, for the amount of chilies I grow, I'm going to go down B&Q and buy some plants.
I listen to this list. I sowed all my seeds. I put them all individually in the little tray. I'll show pictures later on. And I can't even, because they're not small little plug trays, and I can't every seed. And I get my daughter to count them up. It says, Dad, 280.
Wow.
And what did I do yesterday? I went round Lidl and I thought they got the new seed things up, and I thought, oh, look at this. Caspian chilies. They got like a red crackling.
Yeah.
So it's 290 now. I thought, germinate.
No, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm going to sow any apart from some Ring of Fire, which I quite like, and some jalapenos.
I've done some jalapenos. They've germinated less than a week.
Yeah, I'm going to go down B&Q and buy some plants in March or April.
Come round to mine. Come down to mine. I'll have some. The what?
Do you have to have them at certain heat to germinate?
Yes.
Yeah, they've got to be
20 and 18. 20 and 18 degrees. Mine on a propagator, right by a gas fire, so then really warm.
Suzanne,
mine are in greenhouse, but my husband's turned the heater off.
They'll germinate in a kitchen. They just take a bit longer.
Yeah, they're in the greenhouse, so.
They say 7 to 14 days, and the hotter one's a bit longer, isn't it?
I'll have to bring it in.
I've seen them in a month, Paul, years ago.
Yeah, Mum. Well, last year I grew Naga Vipers, and now they germinated in about 10 days. Yeah, doing all right.
Shut up, woman.
What's your point?
I ain't got a point with today.
No, Jacko.
Oh, Jacko.
I was going to say, I grew Carolina Reapers last year, and they took about 3 weeks to start. Once they got going, they're okay.
What sort of temperature was that, though, Jacko?
They were in one of those Vitapods.
Oh, okay.
I bought a Vitapod last year for the first time. They were in my front room, but the heating was on, as in the thermostat, etc.
I see if I can find the picture. I've got a guide on basically what all plants will germinate in temperatures. There's been quite a lot of work done on it, so I'll see if I can send you that, Mick, and it'll tell you the variation in temperatures, minimum, maximum, and how long they'll take to germinate. I'll see if I can find that for you. I think Graham Barrett done that.
Do you know the chap in Western, Mick? Stephen Lee?
Yeah.
Yes.
I spoke to him the other week, and he'd done these reapers. They germinated in a fortnight.
I think it really depends on the
on
what plants they come off.
That's it.
You growing reapers, Paul?
Yeah, I am. I've got 10 going. Hopefully, I'll germinate. Fingers crossed. Mix.
Have you grown them before?
I've tried last year and we had seeds off a certain person off eBay, and they were with reapers.
Never grown.
That was like,
just one.
that was like a long one.
The plants weren't very good. The ones I've seen. But,
oh, you want to go on? I'll send you the Facebook link. There's a really good chili Facebook page that
supplier
that has thousands of different growers and varieties and everything. I'll see if I can find you the link.
All right. These caspins I bought a little yesterday, like a red and short, and then red, and they've got like white little lines in the side, like crackling.
Yeah.
They look nice. Little. I've done the same thing. Soaked them in some water, kitchen roll.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave them back till next week, then pot them on.
Oh,
and hopefully, and if they all germinate, I'm in trouble.
The Carolina Reapers that I bought last year, I bought from, is it the chili farm down south?
Yeah.
And they cost me £5 for 12 seeds. Every single one germinated.
Yeah. How did they
South
grow?
Devon?
South Devon,
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It's about
Every
10 minutes.
every single one germinated.
It's about half an hour
Not
from
one
where I
failed.
live, yeah.
Yeah. They were really good.
Do you have any fruit on?
Yes, I did.
Did you try one?
Again, yes, I've made some sauces, which I think I've tried to kill off the pub, which I'm in at the moment. But yeah, I did get some fruit off. But as you say, you've got to start the really hot ones off so early in the year because they take so long to grow. And the Fatali ones, I think we were talking about earlier, I grew some of those as well. But again, they produce fruit, but again, just you have to leave them for the season so long. You have to start them off so early.
I think it really starts.
Keep the temperature all the way through constantly.
I think it's to do with the summer, Jacko. I think if you get a really hot summer in the UK, they thrive. But if you get colder springs and not so warm summers, then they'll never catch themselves up once you get to the longer day hours. And once it starts to drop back at the end of June, I think you're knackered.
Yeah, well, I found that I had to keep them in the house under the vitapods and the lights for so long because the weather we had last year. Because I knew that, we got that frost again, and then of course you start then getting flies all over the place, and then you've got to combat that as well as everything else. I mean, it's the first year I really had a good go at trying to grow chili plants, hot peppers or whatever. But I had it was good. I mean, the jalapenos that I grew were absolutely brilliant. Those grew in the polyton and superb. And I got, like I said, I got some Carolina Reapers and Fatalis and I've got some Scotch bonnets as well. But yeah, it's just a learning curve. I've never done it really properly before.
It's really weird with chilies. I haven't grown them a lot for a few years, but I grew them one year, and I had you've probably heard of them, chili grows, quad grows, and all that sort of thing. And I grew 2 ghost, and I'll send you a pic. I grew 2 in a quad, not quad grow, in a chili grow. It's a three, isn't it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I grew 2 ghost peppers. No, 1 ghost pepper, 1 jalapeno, and another super hot, like a Trinidad scorpion. And I had nearly 2,000. You ain't going to believe me. I'll show the pictures next week. I think I had nearly 2,000 pods off those 3 plants. It filled the greenhouse up.
You can. There's
incredible. I couldn't believe it.
There's a video on YouTube. This one bloke did it in a big pot, a medium pot, then a large pot, then an extra large pot, and there's a Dorset Nargoo, and there was thousands on there.
Yeah.
Just on 3 plants.
I think it's really, and I truly believe that chilies aren't nutrient hungry. They quite like rubbish soil until they come into fruiting. When they come into podding up, that's when they need a bit of a feed. But
I'll pick all my chilies second week in December.
Yeah.
And then we had a frost during them, and they're still growing.
What size pot you put in the final plants in?
I don't think you need any more, something like that. Depends how big the plant wants to get. But I don't think you need any more than a 7-9 litre pot.
Yeah, quad grows and chili grows. That's what I use.
Yeah, I mean, because that's nutrient feeding from the bottom. But if you're growing in a big pot, it's like Paul just said. I've seen people grow them in 130-litre pots, and the plants that fill out the greenhouse.
Oh yeah. But if you stress them, they increases the heat as well.
Yeah,
you underwater them a little bit.
I grew a scorpion.
They get hotter.
A scorpion in a biggish pot, one of the water tanks, and I was there at least an hour picking the fruits off it. An hour, and I had a tray full of scorpions. Couldn't believe it.
The question I've got to ask is because when I picked all those chilies, I put them on the kitchen top. I thought, what am I going to do with them? So I ended up because you can't use them. I ended up giving them to the Indian. When I got my takeaway, I give them 100, 200, 300 chilies. There you go.
Can't you just dry them? I dry my chilies, and then once they're dry, I blitz them and use them as chili flakes.
Yeah, but I'm still using chili flakes from 8 years ago.
Mine are in the
You can freeze them.
I'm in the freezer.
I freeze a lot of mine.
I had
just do what I've been doing. Try and kill all my friends off in the pub. Yeah, mate. Sauces.
No, I'm going to stay off the chilies this year, I think.
Paul took a jar of sauce to our AGM last week.
Yeah, I know, it was mine.
I took a photo on it.
And I'm doing no competitions with you, Paul, either.
Why not, Nick? You chicken. Oh, quick question, Nick. Bournemouth have been kicked out of the FA Cup.
Mick or Nick?
No, Nick, you. Bournemouth.
Me? Oh, I'm not bothered about that.
They lost 1-0.
That's all right, that's fine.
To a division, world division.
They'll come back.
Yeah.
Right, good night, everybody.
See you, Nick.
See ya.
Take
See you
care.
soon. Ta-ra.
See you next
Cheers, Scott.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
See ya, Paul.
See you then, people.
Everybody. Yeah,
Bye.
good now.
Bye.
Good now.
Don't forget your write-ups if you got anything.
Bye.
Cheers, peeps.
Here all. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.